Live from Southern California, it's time for another episode of Cook Live with Chrissy and Dr. Kristi. Turn on the oven, light up the stove, and get ready for another delicious recipe from our plant-based cancer-kicking kitchen. And without further ado, here are your hosts, Dr. Christy Funk and Chrissy Roth.
Hey everybody! Welcome. It is episode 19 of Cook Live with Chrissy and Dr. Kristi. This is such a special episode. I am super thankful for my BFF, Chrissy. What are you thankful for? I want to hear from all of you, especially my Zoomers. Let's let it roll. Let us know where you're from and what you're thankful for on this special Thanksgiving holiday plant-based feast. We cannot wait to cook with you. So, as you know, we are streaming live to you from Zoom, YouTube, and Instagram. And if you have missed any of our past episodes, you can find them all at pinklotus.com/kitchen. We have an archive of all 18 priors with our delicious recipes. And remember, if you want to cook along live with us now, you can go to pinklotus.com/kitchen and find the recipes. You'll want to cook with cook mode on so that you can always keep it on, and with your messy hands you're not trying to get it back on, and check off each ingredient as you add them, because we're masters at skipping ingredients. Why is this not? Oh, there's no flour. That's why it didn't rise.
We could just check it off. It's just a little toggle on the recipe, and it is really helpful because these especially are a little more complicated.
These ones definitely you could miss a step. So make sure but they're so fun. We're really excited to bring everything to you. And while she didn't want any mention of her, Sarah Wilcox, I have to say her name out loud probably several times, because you will notice that the kitchen is particularly more beautiful, decorated, complete with pink strainers. And you will find out as we go along cooking that many things are pre-cut and pre-proportioned, and they are just to perfection. And
very organized.
Why is that? Because Sarah Wilcox is the unstoppable, extraordinary, incomparable food stylist to the stars. And she has graced me with her presence and made this special Thanksgiving presentation all the more special by her preparation. We really would not have it this beautiful or simple or ding, so easy to do in your own home without Sarah Wilcox. So give her a follow at Instagram. It's SERA Wilcox. All right, so thank you, Sarah, and I'm so excited to get started. Before we do, though, Chrissy and I, have a promise that we always give to you at the beginning of the episode, and that is simply that this dish delivers. What we do here at Cook Live with Chrissy and Dr. Kristi, if you've never joined us, is that we want to show you up close and personal how in simple, practical, start right now power, you can start eating a very healthy plant-based life. It's not just in the kitchen. It actually,
like a lifestyle.
It really is. It starts to translate into how you move and interact with animals, with plants, with anything living on earth. It just brings a new perspective to your whole existence. But there's something extraordinarily powerful about knowing that every time you chew and swallow down something, every time you drink a certain liquid, you are infusing your cells, your cell microenvironment, with either pro-inflammatory, pro-cancer constituents, or the opposite, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-growth hormone, anti-IGF-1, which is the big powerhouse behind the creation of all cancer. So you can eat in a very purposeful way. And so we love showing you how you can do that in a really kind of manageable, easy way. Although Thanksgiving is a little more complicated. There's a few more steps today, but nothing that you can't do. So every single time you lift fork to mouth, we want you to remember, food is delicious medicine. All right. For those of you who don't know, I'm Dr. Christy Funk, board certified breast cancer surgeon, also board certified in lifestyle medicine, and your warrior at all things pinklotus.com.
I'm Chrissy Roth. I am a physical therapist. I work in home care, so I see patients in their homes, and I see some very sick people who I when you get down to it, a lot of them just didn't treat their bodies the way that we are hoping you do. And what do we have?
he just wants you to look this way.
Sorry. And I don't know what else. Oh, and then I love food. I love plant-based food. I've been cooking plant-based food for the better part of 16 years now, and I'm kind of obsessed with it and happy to share.
As you should be, and I'm so lucky to have her as my sidekick. Couple of things. To log it in now, and there'll be a QR code soon for you to RSVP early December 10th. We are doing an extraordinary, gorgeous vegan charcuterie board. So you do not want to miss this. This is going to be the holiday wow.
And it's going to be creative. It's not going to be your run-of-the-mill, like, have us some chips and some olives.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And we're actually going to do 2 homemade cheeses from beginning to end, so you can finally master.
And y'all want to learn the homemade plant-based cheeses.
You do, because the store-bought ones are okay. And then, of course, for my Zoomers, we have a giveaway today, and the giveaway is because we're making my Vital Wheat gluten-based turkey, so our faux turkey recipe. I'm going to send you guys a whole supersized bag of Anthony's Vital Wheat gluten, which is the necessary ingredient to making this incredible turkey. You're going to be so excited.
And killing me.
And I know, I'm going to make Chrissy have a bite. Well, she's not celiac, so she won't die. And you don't die. When you're celiac, the reason why, unfortunately, you're at risk for dying if you eat gluten anyway, is that you will possibly get this very fatal small bowel lymphoma, and that is the problem with celiacs and gluten anyway. And if you're celiac, you would probably know. But anyway, we'll get into some wheat stuff later.
You'll talk about the wheat.
For now, we always start with a mocktail. Today, we're doing an old-fashioned.
It's another fancy one. We've been going more fancy with the mocktails.
It's a little fancier in that you need to, they're not like ready in your fridge, or, you don't probably have it already. So this is Ritual brand whiskey. It's a non-alcoholic whiskey. Ritual has some amazing like hard liquors. So tequila, whiskey, rum, an aperitif. No offense to Ritual, but I have, if you grab it from the freezer, there's a blue diamond. You'll see it. It's right there on top. I made diamond-shaped ice cubes for everybody today. See how cute? All right. So, I was just going to say, no offense to Ritual, but the aperitif, I did not like that one.
Oh, I don't think I tried that one.
Oh, yeah, you probably don't need to. Okay.
But it is fun. It is fun to have something that's a little more exciting.
Not yet.
Okay.
Just a second.
You do it.
Yeah, only because I'm going to stir first.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So the way we make our old-fashioned, I have this, it's called Bar Smith, and it is the old-fashioned. It's already all mixed up with the bitters that are non-alcoholic. Watch out. If you're truly into your mocktail and need and mean it to be so, bitters have alcohol. They're like 35% alcohol. So you need to find the non-alcoholic ones, which is not so easy to do. And the bitters in here are non-alcoholic. So we're going to simply do 1 part of the old-fashioned mix to 2 parts of the whiskey.
And I've kind of found, and I think you found the same thing, that if you're trying to do mocktails, if you can find bitters, like obviously alcohol-free bitters,
right?
It really does make it taste like kind of like a more
the real deal,
like the real deal, like an alcoholic drink. If you like the taste of those.
Okay, so this one is not labor intensive. It's just you have to have these specific ingredients. Yeah. But there we go. So we've got 1 part to 2 parts. And then please go ahead. We've got our diamond-shaped ice cubes. I couldn't
get them out anyway, so let's see if I can do it.
And then Sarah Wilcox showed me how to make this really cute. She's worried about my surgeon hands. This is hard to start, isn't it? Okay, there we go. How to make the orange peel rind look all cute and twisted. So I will show you. Well, that's not very good. Sarah, how do you do it all the way around? All right. So if you like, she made it look so easy.
She did make it look easy.
Okay. So what you're going to do, I'm going to blame the peeler. Yeah, there we go.
It's good. She said it's a little like,
yeah, like a little
uneven. It looks more natural.
Yeah, well, she likes the uneven. Okay, I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm.
Mission accomplished.
Yes. We're going all the way around the orange. And so we have this cool peel, And then what you'll want to do is just trim the sides so you get the middle to be super straight. You get that bit there.
Yeah.
And then you can just twist.
You did it.
Did it. Just twist kind of over the drink so you can get some of the orange peel oils in there. And it'll hold its little twisted shape, and you can either just drop it in on top or put it in on the lip.
Cute.
There we go.
Love it.
We'll give it a quick stir. Yeah, I think the big ice cubes are really fun. I would invest in one of those silicone ones. I have a huge big square block ones, and then these diamonds. Cheers to you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
That is smooth.
Good, it is.
That is delish. The first time I ever had a real old fashioned was my brother's
It's a little smoky, too.
60th birthday. Yeah, and he ordered that. I was taking him out for his birthday, and I'm like, get whatever you want, your favorite drink, order it. And I'd never actually even heard of it. I was like, old fashioned.
I grew up in New York, so there were a lot of people drinking old fashions in New York. It's like New York City, like it's like, I hate to say this, but like a steakhouse drink.
But for sure, yeah.
Which,
And it looks like that.
yeah.
Like I feel like I should have a pot belly and no hair. Right? Cigar. All right.
Try that.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to start with, obviously when you have multiple things on your menu and you're trying to cook, you want to time things backwards to what's going to have to cook the longest. So in point of fact, that might be my turkey because it has to steam for an hour. But we're going to start with the scalloped potatoes.
Yeah.
And so let's hit it.
So the scalloped potatoes, I usually make the day before. I mean, they're definitely something you can make a day or even 2 days before because they're a little more involved and it's just nice not to have to do it. And they take a long time to cook. And also, if you chill the potatoes, you put them in the fridge overnight, you then have resistant starch, which...
Yeah, so...
You can talk about it.
Yeah, it turns out, so when you look at longevity foods, fruits, vegetables, lentils, beans, peas, seeds, nuts, they all clearly extend life. If you are very whole food, plant-based focused with your eating for the majority of your life, you will be extending both health span and lifespan. On the flip side, if you're eating red meat, processed meats, you're going to definitely be shortening health span and or lifespan. Potatoes, white potatoes, they're totally neutral. So they don't prolong your life, but they don't shorten it. However, for diabetics or people who have poor insulin sensitivity, meaning they're quite insulin resistant, white potatoes are going to get rapidly absorbed as sugar, and that's going to bump your insulin, right? So this is a high glycemic index food. What Chrissy's referring to by upping the resistant starch is when you cool a potato, even if you cook it, you cool it, and you can happily reheat it. The starch content has altered, and you have a 40% drop in the glycemic index, and so the sugar uptake is dramatically reduced, and it's basically super neutral then. And my kids live on mashed potatoes. They love them so much. I can't keep them in the house for more than a half a day.
Yeah,
so you can make them healthier by chilling and then heating.
Yes.
So meanwhile, these have been pre-sliced with the mandolin by Sarah Wilcox. So they look perfect and gorgeous.
Look perfect.
They wouldn't look this way, as we all know, if I had done it. However, they're soaked in water to avoid turning that kind of gray, sad color that makes them not look so delicious. So I'm going to layer them in here all pretty.
Okay, so you'll layer while I do this?
I'm going to stop talking and you're going to start talking. Yes.
Right, so we have pre-soaked for 4 hours or longer. You can even soak them overnight. Cashews, raw cashews. Do not do it with roasted cashews. And they're drained. Do not drain, don't pour the water that you were soaking in to your recipe. So I believe these are all pre-measured. So we have 1.5 cups of cashews and 2 cups of plant milk. I was telling Kristi earlier, my big fail one year, because I make these potatoes every year, and everybody, and they're even people who aren't vegan or don't eat plant-based food at all love these potatoes. I'm just checking the measurement here. So 2 cups of plant milk. So they love these potatoes, but one year I made them with soy milk, and I didn't realize that the soy milk I bought was vanilla soy milk. So I made them, and cooked them, and I guess I usually taste the sauce, but I didn't because I was probably making a million things at the same time. Anyway, they were done, and they were smelling a little like kind of like too like a baked good, you know. And I had put vanilla soy milk into these, and it was so bad. Like they just tasted off. You just knew that like something wasn't right.
These are bad potatoes. I didn't even know what it was.
Right. You know, you're like, it just shouldn't taste like this. So don't do that. There's my cautionary tale. All right, so 2 cups of not vanilla.
Not vanilla soy milk.
And I also like the soy milk. You know, it's like unsweetened soy milk. I like just for this type of thing, just regular soy milk, not necessarily unsweetened. Then it'll be closest to dairy, to milk composition, I guess you could say. So I think it cooks better. Okay, and then 2 cups of broth, veggie broth, of course. And that I don't think matters. I mean, as far as what broth you use, it's going to be a little more savory probably if the broth has salt in it, and you know, if the broth is more of a robust broth. And then nutritional yeast, and we're going to look at how much. It's a half cup.
I want to talk a little bit about nutritional yeast.
Please
because
do.
I'm obsessed.
So this is nutritional yeast, aka nooch. We eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a staple, right?
It is. It's like the OG vegan food from like the 70s. What did they do without nooch and I don't know, fruit and vegetables? That's about all there was.
Should I blend it, or you want to talk first?
Go ahead and blend.
Okay. There's some salt in this too. So, well, I won't even talk about it because I'm going to change this. There's a teaspoon of salt in here as well, which I'm going to add.
You did a tiny bit. You layered the bottom of this dish with a wee bit of oil, or we forgot.
Well,
I forgot.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Okay.
It'll be.
All right.
But
so you might want to do that.
You do want to.
If you're using a ceramic, you might just a little bit of oil so it doesn't super stick.
That is correct. All right. So. And you want this really well blended, so it's going to be like creamy, cheesy.
Yeah.
Right? So make sure that you blend it really well.
Cool. So what I wanted to tell you about nutritional yeast is that there's a fiber component called beta glucans, and the beta glucans have the strong possibility of being able to be immunomodulators. So they can potentiate your immune system to do its job, which specifically, as I like to think about it, is to kill cancer. So there are a couple of studies I wanted to share with you. One is that they did these Petri dish studies of taking fresh human breast cancer cells, and they put some natural killer cells. These are, as they sound, they're from your own immune system. They're in your blood. They naturally identify and kill cancer. So they've added those. Some cells got killed. Now, they did the same Petri dish, breast cancer on there, but they primed the natural killer cells with essentially the amount of beta glucans that you would get from a pinch of nutritional yeast. So obviously something that you can consume. Mm-hmm. And so they primed them, and then they put the natural killer cells on the Petri dish. 5-fold increase in tumor kill volume. Wow. From just basically a pinch of nutritional yeast. But that's in a Petri dish. The bigger question is, what happens if you eat it? And what happens if you have cancer and you eat it? There are, regrettably, not a lot of studies on that, but there's one very intriguing one that comes from the Japanese. And what they did was they took inoperable stage 4 cancer patients of all cancer subtypes and put them in, they looked at their lifespan. And the group that was the control group did not have nutritional yeast. The intervention group got literally a pinch of nutritional yeast, that amount of beta glucans. And in the control group, 19 out of 20 had died at 3 months, and everyone, the last person, died by 6 months. In the nutritional yeast group, 43% were alive at 6 months. Wow. I don't know if we can attribute it all to beta glucans. It's hard to interpret the study. Yeah. It's in Japanese. But the summary of the study that I got in English was what I just relayed. Okay, so these are all beautifully prepared into our baking dish. So
and you could kind of do, well, you'll see, because the one that, the Presto Changer one that we're gonna pull out of the oven is like very beautifully laid out. So now I'm going to saute onions in some olive oil.
Okay, so we'll grab the oil with us and.
There's some here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's we're gonna saute them before we put them into with the potatoes, and
on top.
Yeah. On top.
And one, you had noted in your recipe.
Yeah.
That the white onions can burn.
Yes, they can. Yeah, they can burn on top. They'll get kind of crispy on top of the potatoes, which that's kind of yummy. So it's not the worst thing in the world if it happens.
Right.
So we're gonna take them and saute them for a while. And this is the only oil in this huge recipe, and this recipe is, you'll see, it's a lot of servings.
Yeah. So, and it's Thanksgiving, so you know, if oil is a cheat food for you, this is probably one of those days. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and your birthday. I'm gonna go with have a little oil.
Okay.
Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil,
Yes.
of course, right? High in the omega-3 fatty content.
Normally we take our veggies and we saute them in broth. This would not come out the same. And I know we always say it's exactly the same, but this would not come out the same because you'll see when you put these on top of the potatoes, they're going to brown. And if we did a broth saute,
they'd
would
be
just get soft.
black ash.
Yeah, and they would not do what they're supposed to do. So
Yeah.
certain occasions.
I do think this is ready.
Doing this. And you'll want to do these, saute them till they're pretty soft. Because once they go in the oven with the potatoes, they cook, but they're not going to cook all the way. And again, I've made this recipe so many times. One time I underdid the onions and I put them in. You don't want to crunch on onions with potatoes, you know, unless they're brown and you want them that way.
Right.
You want them to be really cooked well. And even though they're going in the oven for a long time, for some reason, they don't seem to end up that way. And that's why there's recipes.
All right, so we're going to saute. This is probably going to take 5 minutes to get translucent.
We'll just keep it on low and we'll let these guys go.
Okay, do you want to pour or should we start on turkey?
Well, I'm going to add a little, I'm going to let these get soft and then I'm going to add a little of the sauce to this. And then, why don't we just start on the turkey? I think bottom line is let's start on that because it's going to be 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let me come over here to my Instas. So now I'm going to show you how to make, this is the most fantastic turkey and it's so easy, it's almost embarrassing because people are going to be very wowed, you'll see. But it really all just takes place in the food processor and then you steam it and then you got to saute it a little bit with some delicious herbs and voila, it's ready to serve. So let's go on back here and I'll show you what's what in terms of what we do. So wheat gluten. I have a lot to say about wheat gluten, but suffice to say, unless you are celiac, which we touched upon a second ago, which is only 1% of people, you're missing out on some incredibly potent health benefits that come from eating whole grains. There are tons and tons of studies that show somewhere between like just 2 and 3 servings of whole grains a day dramatically reduces your risk of heart attack, of stroke, of diabetes, of all cancers and early mortality. So if you are not gluten sensitive, so there's celiacs, there's people with true wheat allergies, which is 0.4% of children, and you would know because your throat closes up and you can hardly breathe. So if you're not that person with anaphylactic shock from gluten or celiac or having a significant gluten sensitivity, right? When you eat, you can get cramping, abdominal pain, bloating, and nausea, vomiting. So that's okay. So what Kristi's described, there's 2 different types of gluten sensitivities. One is intestinal, so it involves nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, pain. The other is extra intestinal manifestation, which is outside of it, and it's exactly what she described. It's joint pain, muscle aches, brain fog. There's even this, it's called, it's like a migratory rash of the elbows and knees.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's like, I forget what it's called, Dermatica, something. It's terrible. Anyway, that also is 2% of all people. So the vast majority of people should not shy away from wheat from whole grains in particular, so you're going to find gluten in wheat, in barley, in rye, but there's a ton of whole grains for you celiacs out there, and you definitely want to seek them out and consume them. So, Chrissy, let's have a little whole grain contest. Okay. So I just named wheat, barley, and rye. I'll just have you name. Okay, ready, set, go.
Farro, spelt, quinoa.
Okay. Now we'll just do one, or I'm going to run out of
it.
it.
You did 3, so I thought it was
No, you're caught up. Now it's 3-3. It's 3-3. And now popcorn.
Brown rice.
Red rice.
Black rice.
Wild rice.
Hold on. Nope. Oh, teff.
Amaranth.
I said spelled farro. I know there's more. Hold on.
Buckwheat.
Buckwheat. I should have thought of that one. Yeah.
Okay,
thanks.
Couscous, whole wheat couscous. There you go. All right. So in terms of protein, okay, so I'm obsessed with seitan. S-E-I-T-A-N. Not Satan, seitan. And
sorry, I'm such a sucker for a joke like that.
I love that you laughed. It wasn't that funny, but it is pronounced wrong all the time because it's spelled S-E-I-T-A-N and it sounds like Satan. Okay, so it is almost a complete protein. It's just missing 2 amino acids, which you are getting, guess what? From chickpeas, from beans. So now it becomes a complete protein meal once you have your slice of turkey. But the more incredible component about seitan is its protein content. So all of the starch has been removed from this whole wheat, and now we've basically just got pure gluten. And in 1/4 cup of this gluten, you will find 24 grams of protein. 24 grams. And it is easily, my kids, for example, will easily have a cup's worth. So we're talking about almost 100 grams of protein, boom, right there in one meal. It's incredible. All right, so what have I done? I put in 1 can of pre-rinsed chickpeas. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We now have a 3/4 cup of organic vegetable broth. So we're putting all mostly wet ingredients in first. I have our favorite thing, nutritional yeast. This is unfortified, so fortified nutritional yeast is going to have folic acid in it, and there's potentially some reports now showing an increase in depression, ADHD, so maybe you want to use unfortified and not have folic acid, which is the kind of supplement manufactured form of folate, which you are getting in your leafy greens, etc. This is a white miso paste. So we're going to put that in. This can also be subbed with soy if you wanted. And here we have...
what soy? When you say soy?
Soy sauce.
Okay.
Soy sauce is what I meant.
Yep. Okay.
Soy sauce, thank you for that qualifier. This is the Better Than Bouillon base. You can use the cubes that are non-chicken cube vegetable broth, or this the liquid version, which I love. And there's
very umami.
It adds so much. Like, this is critical. So I really love the liquid version. It's called Better Than Bouillon is the brand, and it's amazing. You can get the one that's chicken based and no chicken based. Then chicken based, it turns out, is kind of dark in color, and so your turkey won't look so much like turkey meat. It'll look more like lamb or roast beef. So go for the no chicken Better Than Bouillon vegetable base. Okay.
But it is not low sodium. We should mention that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why.
Again, it's a holiday. We're doing a holiday meal, and so we're taking some liberties.
Exactly. So, and the other thing is, there is no salt added. Like, I know that you're adding things that have salt. Like, so there's and here are all of our gorgeous herbs and aromatics. We've got rosemary, thyme, sage, garlic powder, and onion powder in here. So all that is going to go all beautifully in there. And we are ready to blend. Ready, set. You're not going to believe how easy this whole thing becomes. So I'm just going to push down the sides a bit and do one more little quick blend. Then I will add the vital wheat gluten, aka seitan. Oh, it smells so good. I really hope you make this recipe.
I want to eat that.
It is so good. It's so chewy and moist and meaty. Literally, no one's going to be like, "Where's the bird?" Okay. Great. All right. Now I'm going to add the wheat gluten, and I'm just going to pulse it a bit, and then you'll see it becomes a dough. And then I'll take it out and knead it between my fingers, just in my hands, for like 10 times. And then mold it into the turkey loaf shape that we want. And then we steam it. And it's already delicious at that point, but there's a little more to do. Okay, so I'm going to pulse to make sure I don't overmix. And I need a little scrape here. Perfect. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. Now it's looking all doughy. I'm just going to get a little bit of the extra wheat gluten. I'm going to push this back. Okay. Just put it smells good because it is good. All right, I'm going to pull out this dough and get a little extra flour. I'm just going to toss it on my counter here too because I'm going to put it down. Get some flour on my fingers so it doesn't all stick. Okay. So I'm going to just knead it a bit.
Where's the blade? Did you take it out?
No, it's here. You worried about my fingers?
Yes.
That's so sweet. All right, there we go. So now, I feel like my Insta people can't see this camera, so I'm going to go over here, people. So here's my bread loaf, and I am kneading it. We got some questions. Yes, Betty Ann Cornwall, it is exactly like bread dough. The vital wheat gluten is very flour-ish in texture. When I make this almost exact recipe, but I'm making chicken cutlets instead of turkey, I add a cup of flour in addition to the wheat gluten, and it makes it even more bread doughish. And then I just pull it apart into tiny little like chicken breast fillets and steam those. And then I saute them in barbecue sauce, and I make barbecue chicken that way. It's one of my faves. Okay, so now I'm just molding this bread-like turkey into just a big loaf. And then I'm going to put it into the steamer basket. Let me just get this steaming, and then we'll do the potatoes.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm molding it into this cute little shape. I'm going to put it back on my flour. Good. So this, just like bread, it's doughy, right? So it will rise a bit. There's another version of this that I just thought, too labor intensive. Like, let's just keep it simple for everybody, including myself. But you could wrap this in like cheesecloth and twine, and it basically keeps it from rising so that it will be exactly this size and a little denser. Yeah. And that may be a little bit more turkey-esque. So if you're really wanting to, okay. So 2 parts here into our steamer, right on the bottom. This is a nice trick. We're going to steam. Could you turn this burner on, please? Yeah. We're going to steam using broth. So you get all of this kind of flavors of the broth in here. So I'm going to put 3 cups in here. I'm going to save my last cup. And I will set a timer when I'm doing this for 30 minutes from now. Okay, I have done 2 things that I'm going to stop you from doing. The first is I know it had to steam for an hour, and I let it go for an hour. Oh my gosh, it all evaporated, all the broth. It ruined the pot, and it made the turkey taste like a stinky, burnt pot. Like, it was just disgusting. So it's really critical that you make sure you're going to bring the broth to a simmer, but it can evaporate on you. So what we're going to do at the halfway mark is pour the last cup of broth all over the turkey and let it go down into the bottom, but also double check the bottom that you have enough there. The second thing, but just the second thing, I made not a huge mistake, but I didn't line the bottom of the pan with a piece of parchment, and then the turkey loaf kind of seeped down because it expands, right? So it expanded down into the holes, and so the whole bottom was like this textured weird. It was the rings of the pot, and it wasn't ruined, but it was stuck. I had to pull it out. It was like trapped in there, and it was.
Oh my God. We can rename this Kitchen Nightmares.
I know. Tales from the Kitchen Crypt. All right, so now we're steaming for an hour.
Yes.
And I will while we steam, Chrissy will finish potatoes.
Yeah, so the onions, you can see they're very soft now. They're not browned. I mean, there's a couple that are a little brown, but generally they're not browned. They're just right. And
you added a little, you're about to.
Yeah, I'm about to. So I re-blended this because it's been sitting too long. So I'm just
okay.
Gonna pour this over, and I like to kind of just move the potatoes around. And
get it in between.
Get it all in between.
I'm setting my alarm for 30 minutes.
Yeah, you really have to move them around. Because you want them to line up with each other to look nice, but then you also want this to get in between all of them, so it gets a little tricky. But
yeah, you need a little space, and then you don't want space because you want it to be packed.
Exactly. And this becomes so creamy, it's amazing. You'll see.
You'll see.
Just you wait.
You doubter.
We're just like calling them names now.
I know.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to put more of it.
I'm going to have more of my old-fashioned.
And this is like kind of a smaller pan or,
serving dish,
serving dish, baking dish. So we're not going to end up using all of this. Normally, like you'll use the bigger one and you'll use it all.
We will repurpose that. So that is the perfect base to become an amazing, delicious gravy. So you can saute up some mushrooms, add a little tamari in there. Mwah. It's going to be delish.
So good. Okay.
So,
all right, so now with this, you sprinkle the onions over the top. And these onions brown on the top, and they get like really crispy and yummy.
and what is the oven set at? 350?
I think it's 375. Is it?
It is.
400.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on your oven. My oven I did 400, so but you have to keep watching it because if the onions start burning, you want to turn it down. We ended up doing that today. So Sarah made a version of this, and it looks incredible. And she mentioned that what she did was put a lot of the onions on the top, but then she added the sauce to the onions just to coat them a little bit, and then poured the rest over the potatoes. And I thought that was an excellent idea.
Clever, yeah, to keep them from getting gross crispy.
Yes.
Like there's a burnt charcoal taste to
Right.
overdone.
Yeah.
That's
So
perfect.
That's not going to be the case now. And you can see, aside from like mandolining or cutting, and by the way, the mandolin works great, but I've done this plenty of times where I just cut the potatoes, and it's labor intensive, and that's what people complain about a little bit with plant-based food, that it takes a little longer, but
Oh yeah. If you don't see me in the office or in the operating room operating, I'm chopping vegetables. I'll be right here. It's been my whole life. Chopping vegetables. That then one child who will be named unnamed flicks out from every meal. I made a lasagna the other day. I specifically made two of them, one without mushrooms, one with, because I knew he would just
he doesn't like
find and
mushrooms.
flick out
Still
mushrooms.
doesn't like them, huh?
Gosh.
Yeah.
But
One of mine still doesn't like mushrooms, and they're in their 20s, so I don't know.
he was pushing aside the spinach too. I'm like, you like spinach? Not in this, not in this. I'm like, then in what? All right, so I'm going to
This is ready to go.
I'm going to bring that over to the oven because you get to do the magic. Because it's your dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just gonna open these and make sure that we're getting them. Again, it's just that little extra bit of time for something to taste better and look special. It's worth it.
My mom
It's a holiday.
is 90. My dad is 94. So they grew up in the Depression. And my mom would not be okay, Chrissy, with leaving the last tablespoon of onions and cream. What are you thinking? All right, now we got every last drop.
All right.
Okay, Mom.
Okay, Mom. We got every drop, Mom.
Yes, we did. There's not a single onion left.
Okay. Let me wash my hands and rinse.
Okay, can you find the bitters on Amazon? Yes, you can, and that is where I found the non-alcoholic bitters because I actually went to Total Wine and More to get the Ritual and thought I could get bitters. I was actually making a whiskey, a different drink, and it required the bitters, and they didn't have it non-alcoholic, so I changed to an old-fashioned. But yes, Amazon is the place where you can get them. Hi from New Jersey. Thankful for my family and friends. Yay, Betty Ann. She followed the rules in the beginning.
Okay,
I said, what do
here
you
we
think?
go.
Oh, let's do a switcheroo. Look at that. It's already done.
Look how beautiful that is. And then what I usually do is let it cool a little, and I put a bunch of chopped chives on it. And they look pretty, having that little bit of green.
You mean like this?
Yes, like that. Just like that. Just throw them on there.
Woo.
Oh my gosh, come on. All right, hold on, I gotta hold it up again.
Are you kidding me? This is too beautiful.
And chives taste so good with potatoes. Here we go. Look at that.
All right.
Delish. And you see how these are like perfectly organized.
Yes, because we had the incomparable Sarah Wilcox doing food styling. Okay, now speaking of my favorite friend.
Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that.
So now we have a perfect loaf, completely steamed for an hour. And now I'm going to show you how we do the finishing touches to make it ready to serve. All right, so let's come over here. Oh, you know what? Is this on high now? Yeah. Let's put that to a simmer. So we've got our guys steaming over there.
These are perfect too.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is the rest of my broth for when we pour it over later. I'm going to show you. This is how we do it. Okay, I'm going to take, just again, it's holidays, so we're going to use a little oil because I want my rub to stick really nicely. Just, you don't even need a full tablespoon, just a little bit to coat it all over, and it's going to make the rub stick. It's going to be so delish. And do it on the bottom too. And then the rub has more, it has paprika and rosemary, thyme, sage. All the goodies that are inside now become like this aromatic coating all over the outside. It's amazing. So Chrissy, if you can do me a favor, we have 3 tablespoons of Miyoko's plant-based butter. So we're just gonna melt that in.
Sure.
Yep, this is our treat day kind of stuff. You know, we don't use a ton of butter either, but today we do. And then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce once the butter is melted. I'm just gonna rub this guy all over. Get the sides.
Good.
Okay. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. See, look, my mom will be proud. The extra spices I'm putting right back on top, Mom. I didn't waste any.
I don't know why I'm using this. I just found it.
Oh.
Smells butter. But I'm assuming you're gonna add more to this.
Okay.
What else
No.
are you adding?
Just soy sauce.
Oh, just soy sauce.
2 tablespoons of soy sauce as soon as it's melted.
All right, that's very small.
And then it takes about 10 minutes in the frying pan. Get it nicely sauteed on all sides. I'm rinsing my hands, but I'm about to touch that again.
I always read the recipes, but this one I did it because I can't eat it.
Oh, so you didn't even care.
I was like, eh.
What's a little brain fog while you're driving home today? Just come on. All right. Oh my gosh, this potatoes looks delish. All right, so great. Now I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Is it a tablespoon? Perfect. Give that a little mix. I don't know why I have this. I'm going to use this instead. I'm going to put metal on my caraway pan. All right. I'm going to put it down my heat to medium high. I mix the soy sauce with the butter. We got our turkey ready to rock. So I'm just going to put that right in there. Whoop. Good. I'm going to lower the heat. And what time is it? Okay. So I'm going to give it like 3 minutes on that side, give it a turn. I'm going to flip to the edges even. I use my tongs to kind of sear the sides a bit too. And so this is going to take 10 minutes. In the meantime, let's do some veggies. All right. So Chrissy's rocking and rolling on the Brussels. So
yes.
we're
and look at, I don't know if you've ever bought Brussels this way, but
they're so beautiful.
It's so satisfying to have them on the stalk.
The original vine,
yeah,
yes.
It just feels so good. I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, because this is how they grow. And a lot of people have never seen them.
No, it's comical. It looks like Jack and the Beanstalk.
It
like
does.
I just want to climb it.
It's so fun.
Okay.
And they have them, I don't know where, they have them in all different stores. They've had them at Trader Joe's every year around the holidays.
Yeah, they do.
Still do. But I haven't been there.
Here, I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this so I don't burn my.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to get the. Maybe just is this? Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Beautiful. Looks delicious. Okay,
Yeah,
so.
doesn't that look so good? I can't stop staring at it yet.
I know. I'm like, I really want a bite of that. Well, I don't know why we don't just eat it. It's ours. Okay. It is time, Zoomers, for what you've all been waiting for, and that is the giveaway of Anthony's Vital Wheat Gluten, which is what you need to make your delicious turkey. All right. So you guys have known that I have behind me over there a cabinet filled with spices in jars. I actually pulled out the black cumin and dropped it and shattered it the other day.
Oh, no.
So I'm down one jar. But the question is, for those of you who watch, how many jars of spice do I have for 1 bag of premium Vital Wheat Gluten? Please, only one answer. Zoomers, put your answers in the side, in the side to me. To you, just put it into the chat. You get one choice. If you put in 2, we're going to go with your first one. How many jars of spice are in my cabinet behind me, which I did not open today? So you got no clues. You have to be a frequent flyer or just a good guesser.
Exactly.
All right, let me check my turkey.
And we're not talking about how we're cutting these Brussels sprouts, but I'm just cutting the end off, and then, because it's too fibrous, so the little end, I'm cutting off, and then I'm cutting them in half. That's about it. And I'm doing that. You can cut them smaller, but we're gonna roast them with butternut squash, and because we're putting the 2 together, you want to keep the Brussels sprouts a little more chunky, because the butternut squash takes a little longer to cook. So you don't want to like cut your Brussels sprouts too small, and then they'll burn. I mean, you could do it separately, but why would you? So yeah, that's my spiel.
Okay, so we're doing.
I think I got them all. If I didn't, we'll figure it out. We'll find them.
Okay.
They'll make themselves known.
They will declare themselves as whole. I'm whole, Mama. All right, let's see. I see one.
I see one. Okay.
Look at my pretty pink strainer. All right, yeah, I think that's you got them all.
All right.
Well done, girly.
Look at me.
All right, so this is a pound of Brussels sprouts, and then we're going to do 1 medium butternut squash. Here it is, all decorative and pretty in its original form. Perfectly cubed. Look at that.
Yes.
So we'll add that.
I will add that you do not, I do on this recipe, but generally you do not have to take the skin off of butternut squash. You can eat it if you're doing like a quick down and dirty butternut squash roast. You can eat the skin. Do you ever eat the skin of it?
I have to say no, I don't.
I usually cut it up and I just do the skin, but not for this because it doesn't look as nice, and it's, some people find it a little shocking, but.
Okay, I'm shocked.
It's not.
But I eat the skin of most things. So.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil coming in hot. Here's your tablespoon.
Yes, 2 tablespoons of olive oil going in, drizzling. And you're going to stir it so you don't have to drizzle as much as
you think.
you think. Yeah. 2
all right.
tablespoons of balsamic. Oh, that's not
It's
balsamic.
to the left.
It is. Okay. 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Oh, this is nice balsamic.
Okay.
This isn't reduced balsamic, although this is nice balsamic. It's like a little thicker, which I like. 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. Oh, I said 2 balsamic, and then I did 1. So let's do 2. Shall we? Okay. And then 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. I love these jars.
Yeah, they're cute.
Little
Okay.
balls.
I'm just turning my roast around. Kind of searing it on the sides.
Teaspoon of garlic powder. And half a teaspoon of paprika. It's actually smoked paprika, and that is going to go as well. And then we're going to toss it all in. I think that's it.
Yep.
Salt, pinch of pepper. Does the butternut squash need to be organic? I believe butternut squash is in part of the Dirty Dozen, unfortunately, so I like to buy it organic. If you look up the Dirty Dozen, it changes.
Every year.
Every year it changes who gets to join the Dirty Dozen and who gets to leave the Dirty Dozen. But butternut squash, unfortunately, I mean, it has a skin, you'd think, it's probably fine, but unfortunately, it usually lands itself in the Dirty Dozen. So, all right, now I'm going to get better way to toss this around. The other thing you could do is combine all these ingredients and then pour it over.
And then we've got a parchment-lined baking sheet. And one of the keys to helping everything cook evenly, as you probably well know, is to separate them out so that the heat is evenly hitting all sides of the vegetables. So that's tricky when you're cooking for a lot of people. Sometimes I wish I had 3 ovens.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you don't really want them touching. It doesn't come out as good. And I'm giving this a good toss to combine all those ingredients. I'm trying to remember. I mean, it's a crapshoot as to whether I combine it and then drizzle it over, or whether I just throw it all in. I think I'm kind of used to throwing it all in, but it probably is a little more even if you combine it and then drizzle it on. Although it looks pretty good. I added a pinch of salt and some pepper. You can always add salt. You can't take it away. We always say that. So as with anything, it's better to err. I think it's better to err on the side when it comes to salt, is a little less, because that's certainly something you can add later.
All right.
Like dried spice you can add later, so it doesn't really work that way. So that one you want to get right. Okay, well, we are good here.
Okay. Are we ready for the reveal of the winner? Excellent. All right, so we had multiple guesses ranging from 25 to 62. And the correct answer is 36 minus the one that I broke, 35. Betty Ann Cornwall, you won wheat gluten. Yay! Fantastic. Betty Ann, your guess was 25. So there we go. It was a neck and neck with Janine, who was on the other end, 48. But Betty Ann was closer. So make sure you direct message us right there on the side your address, and we'll get this sent out to you tomorrow. All right, so these are nicely evenly spaced.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on
Spacing?
Yeah. I'm working on not cutting my finger off. And it's Brussels sprout. Okay, here we go. That one was whole. It's
It snuck away.
All right.
Okay, I think we're
It
good.
smells nice, yeah. Okay, so the reveal. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, and how long later? Maybe 40 minutes?
Yeah, about 40.
Okay, you're actually gonna go up top because this isn't on.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. Look how gorgeous these roasted veggies look. Could it be more delicious? I don't think so. So we're gonna transfer this to a beautiful serving bowl. Can I give you the honors? And I'm gonna finish my turkey roast and bring that over.
Okay.
Amazing.
And whenever roasting vegetables, keep an eye on them. Don't just set a timer for 40 minutes and walk away and not check up on them because you just never know what's going to happen. Another thing I've learned.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Brussels go from, ooh, that looks good, to, whoa, trash can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it happens quickly. All right.
Just always turn the heat down and, if one starts burning.
So here is the roast, all roasted, looking and smelling fantastic. But now we're gonna make it beautiful. So I'm gonna sprinkle parsley across the top. We'll decorate with some beautiful rosemary twigs. I'm even gonna throw some chives on there because I love onions on everything. Allium vegetables galore.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That's so pretty.
So pretty. Get a few fresh herbs right off of the, so nice. Okay, so pretty and amazing.
And that can have its space in the spotlight. Oh, what about the gravy?
We'll bring the gravy over. We're gonna make a whole presentation of our final Thanksgiving. We're coming to a close with everything. So here we go. Let's, look how pretty that is, guys. Nobody's gonna say, what? This is what you're serving and where's the turkey? The gravy is
perfect.
Divine, so you can check that recipe out. It also pairs just so beautifully with the scalloped potatoes. And like I said, if you're gonna, as long as you're making the potatoes, purposefully make a little bit more of that, and then it becomes an amazing gravy. Like
And if you're my son, you drown the potatoes in ketchup.
Oh no! For shame.
They're still good. I tried it. I actually was like, this isn't bad. Look at this gravy. I dare you to try to find better gravy than this with that. And it's not all that fat and everything in there. It's super savory. Look at that.
Look at this turkey.
It looks so good.
If you want to get super fancy with your turkey, because it's very bread and dough-like, you can flatten it first, make like a thick, big, flat dough, line it with your stuffing that you make, and then fold it over.
Oh, yeah.
So then the whole middle of this will be a ring of stuffing.
Well, it's like at the store they have that tofurkey, and that's like
It is like
It's
that.
the same thing. Yeah,
It's exactly like that.
But I bet this tastes a lot better.
So you can do it all fancy like that, but at some point we needed to kind of keep the segment under an hour. All right, guys, look at it. Look at it, all made and sliced. So pretty. So here's everything.
I don't think these guys had their close-up.
There we go.
Delish.
And you saw the scalloped potatoes.
I can get them a little closer now because they're not so hot.
our
I mean, look
gravy.
at these guys. Come on.
I know. My Insta people, you know what you miss out on when you're not on Zoom or YouTube is the 5 camera angles. So we have a...
Well, and they have to look at the back of us a lot.
I know you do. I'm so sorry about that. But for the future, again, to remind you, December 10th, amazing holiday vegan charcuterie platter. You will not want to miss how to make your homemade vegan cheeses and how to make a dazzling charcuterie board that will amaze your friends and guests and get them eating even more plant-based. Okay, so I'm going to do like the big aerial hero shot with all of these gorgeous... Yeah. Is this still hot?
No, it's fine.
Thank you. Okay, there we go. From up above, we've got our spudtacular scalloped potatoes and our balsamic roasted butternut and Brussels our faux turkey, so festive, and delicious gravy. All right.
And it's never looked better. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes. Sarah Wilcox, everybody, made this look so picture perfect.
So good.
I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I feel really blessed about so many things in my life, but friendship and family is top of the list. Grateful to God for health and for this mission that I'm on to help you learn how to really transform your life from the inside out to being the best, most spectacular version of yourself, filled with powerful plants and longevity. And I just thank you for joining us every month here to learn more about how you can improve. I want to share a couple of things with you before we go. One more time, December 10th, Vegan Charcuterie Board. The QR code is up on the screen, so you can RSVP now and we'll send you some reminders. And I've been working so hard behind the scenes and I can't wait to do a big unveiling, but it's already there ready for you to sign up. It is the Cancer Kicking Summit. So we are having 2 this coming May 9, 10, 11. It's Mother's Day weekend in Palm Springs, California. And then May 30, 31, and June 1st. These are Friday, Saturday, Sundays in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Yeah. I know. Palm Springs, Hot Springs. Let me know what other springs you want me to go to. I only go.
Springs.
Yeah. And this is going to be a 3-day in 3D. I will actually be there. It just kind of transformative, miraculous experience. It's going to be one of those mountaintop moments where you have so many ahas. And it's not just about food and how it best nourishes you. We're going to really start to understand how important it is to not only eat, but not eat. So we'll learn about fasting, meditation, learning, growing, thinking, loving. We'll talk about friendships, stress, mindfulness. There's breakout workshops. I have a whole 2 hours dedicated to hormone replacement therapy for those of you who are on the fence or confused about that. Lots of science to learn. It's all steeped in research and science, but it's in a fun format. So I hope that you consider bringing a girlfriend or your daughter and show up at one of the summits. Chrissy's going to be there teaching the plant-based, how to begin, how to transform your kitchen workshop. So keep that in mind. It makes a great Christmas gift. All right. We will see you December 10th. Any parting words of gratitude?
Now
that I said that, she's like, no, I have nothing to be grateful for.
We're all about
family,
friends, family, and health, right? That's like our 3
mantra.
Biggies. Yep. So I think that I hope that you all have a beautiful, happy, healthy holiday, and that you eat some really beautifully colored foods.
Absolutely.
And enjoy your family, and don't be afraid to serve this to people who don't normally eat this. I mean, that's a big one. I would do Thanksgiving, and this is what I'd have. Mine was made with tofu, but and people liked it, and they appreciated trying something new.
Yeah, for sure.
And if they didn't tell me, so.
So you're none the wiser.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope everybody loves their Thanksgiving, and we will see you December 10th.
We will. Bye.
Bye.